Welcome back to the Boys and Bolos podcast. We're down here in the barbershop studio. Welcome to week one. Week one hasn't happened, but we're about to talk about week one.
Yeah, it's week one, though.
It's week one.
Jeez.
This is it. This is our format of our show.
Jeff, do you want to tell people that we're going to go off script tonight?
Yeah,
we're going to be off the teleprompter.
In case anybody didn't realize, this is an unscripted show.
I wonder if they know.
Well,
do you think they know?
I assume that everybody thinks that we put a lot of due diligence into our weekly preparation.
Yeah, like we spend for every hour we actually record, we spend 10 hours of investigation, real R&D.
I don't even sleep at night anymore.
You sleep?
No.
Oh yeah, who sleeps?
Can't sleep.
Can't sleep. Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't sleep. So it's week one. It starts on Friday. It's
unreal. They're starting early because FIFA, in its infinite wisdom, decided to put a World Cup in the middle of a desert.
On the backs of slaves.
On the backs of slaves.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh.
We should really think about how we support this World Cup and whether we should, and even talk about it.
Jesus. Honestly.
I only want to talk about it. I really want to talk about it tangentially, in relation to how it affects the Premier League and all the other leagues. Because think about it, it's screwing over every league.
Oh, it's going to mess up every league. Yeah. We've never done this.
It's crazy.
In my 20 years of watching European football, this has never happened.
Yeah.
And actually, there was a comment that came out earlier today, and it was some Eurocentric pundit that basically said, African players are... I forget the exact quote, but Koulibaly basically said, hey, put some respect on our name, right? Like, the African Cup of Nations, AFCON, is a serious tournament or something, whatever. But John Scheimer reached out and he said that it's tough to pick up African players sometimes strictly because when AFCON is on, you're going to lose them for 6 to 7 games. And they could go away and then come back with injuries. So from a strategic point, he's totally right. And this was always, Chelsea always dealt with this because for a while we had John Mikel-Obi, we had Moses, we had Victor Moses, we had a couple other guys that would go away and they were starters and it would just totally kill our team. And, Liverpool dealt with this when they would lose Salah and Mane. But the point is, that was just,
one tournament.
Yeah, Europe didn't stop for Africa.
Yeah.
But Europe will stop for the World Cup. And I just think it's going to throw things off. And I think that players, if you're Kane, okay, you're what? How old is Kane? 29?
29. Just turned 29.
So Kane is going to go to the World Cup. He's going to play all the games. I think England will probably make the semis. Maybe. I don't know. I also think they're going to lose the United States in the first round. Two completely nonsensical things.
Yeah, that's very...
But let's assume that they go to the final.
Well, it's nonsensical because you said that England's going to go to the semis, and they don't classically do that well in the World Cup.
Well, they made it to the semis last time, and they lost to Croatia in overtime.
Oh, that's true. It's true. I was thinking I don't know. They made it far in the Euros, too.
They made far.
Okay.
They're trending towards a trophy.
They're trending towards something.
The women just won a trophy in overtime, which was a cool little thing that they did.
I mean, on paper, their team is very good.
On paper, their team is very good.
I digress. Sorry. Keep going.
It's okay, but let's live in the world where England goes to the final. And you have a guy like Kane who's going to have to play a lion's share of the games, I think, for Tottenham for them to be really competitive.
A lion's share. Look at you.
A lion's share.
3 lions.
The Tres Leones.
What a guy.
That was nice. See what I did there? So let's just live in the world that they play 7 games. So I haven't even looked at the schedule, and we should probably look at the schedule, but they'll probably have 2 weeks before the World Cup, and then they'll have a week or 2 after. But if Kane goes away and plays 7 games in 1 month at a high level, point being, Kane, other players that are going to have to deal with this, they're going to go back to their clubs, wherever they are, whether they're in Europe, in other parts of the world, there's going to be injuries. Mark my word, February and March are going to be dark with injuries that we have never seen before. My only hope is that this summer they're all getting their rest because there hasn't been anything. I know Arsenal's already won silverware. They won the Orlando Cup, and then they won the Audi Cup because they beat Bournemouth or some shit. I don't care about that, but most players, I hope they're getting their rest now because I'm really worried about the teams that advance the farthest are going to have a lot of players in big club teams, and I think those injuries are really going to influence the Champions League this year. All right, I'm done talking.
It's fine. I'm also worried as a Spurs fan that Harry Kane will be playing all the games, and now they finally signed a striker as a backup in Richarlison, and he's going to be playing for a powerhouse in Brazil where he starts. So that's not great for the old Spursy contingent, but, it'll be all right.
The good news is Son will be out with South Korea in the first round, so
yeah,
there's
fine.
that.
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll get past the first, but maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise.
I mean, he can score worldlies. So
They did beat Germany in the last World Cup.
anyway, back to week 1.
They tied Germany. I just want to make sure. Or did they beat Germany?
I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
Either way, whether they won or they tied, John Scheimer's freaking out that we don't know these things because apparently we're
Well, I don't care. I mean,
up on
here's the thing. Like,
Das football.
I really don't follow international football. Like, if you're gonna talk international football, how many cups Argentina have won? How many Messi?
Do you
Messi
know?
trophies?
Okay, you know how many cups Argentina have won.
1.
Damn it, Jeff.
2.
What years?
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna have a World Cup where
Trivia.
I'll explain world football to Jeff.
Oh my god.
It will be 7 hours long. Jeff will be asleep for 6.5 hours of it, but I'll just be talking about world football and the dynamics.
I've just never been that into it. Like, I've
Really?
just never been that into it.
The World Cup is the greatest. It's the greatest month every 4 years.
I just don't get that into it. I just don't get into it.
What?
I watch it, but I don't get that into it. I'm just like, I can't follow it. I don't like all the other. Maybe the World Cup I care about. Like, it's cool, I guess, but like especially this World Cup, I've paid less attention to. But like also, I mean, like more like international football, like all the other like the Euros and the AFCON and the CONCACAF bullshit, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't follow any of it. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what teams are good. I know
You
the
don't
big teams.
know what
I know the
teams are
big
good?
teams, but I don't like know. I don't. I'm trying to claim ignorance here, and now you're like saying I don't know, but I do. I'm saying I know, but I don't know. I really don't. I'm saying I don't.
We will do a World Cup special.
Oh my god, I don't want to do a World Cup special.
No, you'll be asleep. I'll just be talking on the mic.
Do we want to talk about the first game of the Premier League season?
Well, before we get to the first
2023?
games, let's look at fantasy teams. Let's talk about. I want to talk about fantasy.
I want to talk about fantasy. You want to get straight into fantasy? Is on your mind.
Fantasy's on my mind. Normally, we leave fantasy to the end and we just talk about how Oz is literally beating us all with mini bats.
It's a new season, though. New hope.
Yeah, A New Hope. You know what happened after A New Hope? The Empire struck back. So Oz is the Empire. Sorry, Oz.
That's true. That's a good. I like it. We
Did
just
you like what I did there?
back
A little George Lucas for everyone.
Little Star Wars.
A
for
little
everyone.
Star Wheezy. Well, I figure we could look at some teams and talk about players, or maybe highlight who we think the top 3 players are, or the best forward, midfielder, defender, and goalie that you want on your team.
And dark horse. We gotta pick a dark horse.
Okay,
We
and
have a
dark horse. You want to do that?
We're gonna start up top.
You want to start up top?
Let's start straight at the top.
So I think
baby.
we're gonna fire open the app, and if you're listening to this, and Arsenal hasn't played their first game, you still have enough time to go to our Instagram, Boys and Bolos, click on the link, and put your team in. It will take like 10 to 15 minutes. We have 16 teams now, I think, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty sweet. We had 18 last year, and I feel like after maybe week 10, 12, somewhere around there, maybe mid-season, a lot of people gave up.
Oh yeah, Eric Chahone made a team and then never touched it.
Right. So that's. I mean,
Eric,
I'd
I'm
rather
calling
have
you out.
like less people in the league who are engaged in fighting.
I don't know. I mean, last
But-
year there was Mitch, Mac, Oz, you, myself, Diego, Will. There was a good amount of people that were still towards the end
Engaged.
trying to beat Oz, which is nearly impossible. 'cause
Well, I wasn't trying to be odds. I was just trying to get a respectful place.
I don't even know.
as
I
the
think I
host of this
finished
damn thing.
11th out of 18.
I think it's like 8th. So whatever. Right in
Whatever.
the middle.
You're above
right,
the half.
Right in the middle.
So
Start at the top. Start at the top. There's probably like 4 choices you're making when it comes to.
yeah. So what I want to
strikers.
do is I want to open up and I want to go to where do I want to go? Transfers.
Yeah, you want to see how much these players are worth, baby.
I want to go to add a player. Okay, here we go. So let's look at position. I want to go to forwards. So right now, Haaland is the most picked player
Oh, he is still?
out of forwards, twice as much as Kane almost. Haaland is picked at 46% of the time. Kane's at 26%. And then the net. Oh, hold on, wait. Hold on. Oh, sorry. My bad. Jesus. Not to be confused with Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Jesus from Brazil is picked how much he's the highest at what percentage?
73.
Did you look? It's 73.6%.
Yeah, I know.
You
I know
savant.
I'm a fantasy. I know the stats.
You're a fantasy what? What was the adjective?
Guru.
Okay, fine.
He's a good buy too because I think he's like 9 million or something.
Yeah, he and I do think he's going to have a phenomenal season at Arsenal. So he's 73%, Haaland's 46%, Kane's 26%, Greenwood on Leeds is 24%, but that is only because He's one of the cheaper forwards, and everyone gets him and just puts him on the bench, I think.
And he might actually start.
He might start. Darwin Nunez is at 20%. Taylor from Nottingham Forest is at 12%. Somehow Martial is at 7%, which if you're putting Anthony Martial on your team, I don't know if you know what's going on. He's not good. They sent him to Sevilla, right?
Yeah. They're Ten Hag though now.
They sent him to Sevilla and he came back. God, I got allergies again or something.
Donny Van de Beek's back, baby.
Is it really?
The Ajax connection.
The DVB?
Yeah.
Oh God. Mitrovic 7%. So anyways, who do you think out of who for you? Kane? Kane's your guy?
I mean, he's my guy in the general sense of the word, but fantasy like I like Kane.
Like your homeboy?
He's like my homeboy.
Like you want to have tea with him. Oh, Harry, you want to put the kettle on?
The reason why Kane's only picked 26% is because he costs like $12.5 million.
No, he's 11.5 million, which is the same price as Haaland.
Oh.
And Haaland has picked almost 45% more.
He's on a better team, maybe. That's definitely why.
I think the theory behind Haaland is he's going to have
goals.
Games where he's going to have 3 or 4 goals because they're just going to beat whatever team in the first 15 minutes, and he's going to have a field day.
Yeah, I also don't know if he'll start some of those lower tier team games, like the Fulhams and the Bournemouths, because they'll have Champions League as well, but he's not going to the World Cup, so I guess I don't have to worry about overloading him with games. So, yeah, I mean, Kane's my guy. I put him on my team. I'm going with kind of the sure thing versus we haven't seen Haaland in the Premier League yet. I mean,
Haaland's a gamble.
Haaland, okay. I know he scored like 25 goals in the Bundesliga last year, but he missed 16 games. And I was talking to
how many goals did he score?
He scored like 24 goals or something.
He missed 16 games out of 38?
So I don't know if they play 38 games, but yeah, 36.
Yeah, I think
38.
they do. I think they're 20
Yeah,
team.
he's a beast, but also they play some really bad teams. Like they play some real stinkers. Like there's some real stinkers in the Bundesliga.
I think Haaland's going to get Golden Boot. Which is going to be, if he gets Golden Boot, holy shit, welcome to the Premier League.
Yeah.
When was the last time a guy came, and I don't know the stat.
If he misses 16 games, he's not going to get Golden Boot.
Oh, no. He needs to play 30 of 38.
My point was he might get injured. Like he's a big, lanky, injury prone, especially the last 3 seasons he's missed 19-20 he missed 8 games. 2021 he missed 10 games, and then last season he missed 16 games. And they were like multiple injuries. There weren't like one injury that did him in. That was like a freak thing. It was like he had a hamstring issue, he had a hip flexor issue, he had he had like multiple different injuries. And so
is there something going on at Borussia Dortmund where I know that they have a crazy good academy, and we've all probably seen the video of that like room they have where, you know, the ball comes in one side, you shoot it out the other side. Is there something going on with them in injuries? Because Marco Reus has been there his entire career, and he's always had injuries. Yeah. He even missed the 2014 World Cup with Germany. He should have been on that team. Christian Pulisic comes from there. He's always suffered with injuries. Dembele. Aubameyang. I mean, there's something to be said about, I don't know if they're preparing the players or working on recovery that well. Because honestly, Dembele is one of the most injury-prone players in the last 10 years. Marco Reus as well. Christian Pulisic is always hurt. Haaland. I would have to look at Gio Reyna. He's been suffering with injuries, so I'm starting to see a trend.
Yeah, physio problems, physiotherapist problems.
Yeah, like maybe
doctors,
they don't. Maybe they're just like doing like Reiki and chakra alignment.
Let's get off of this. We know Haaland's going to be good. I think Haaland's I think you're kind of splitting hairs, right?
I was talking about Reiki and chakras, and you didn't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that.
I hate this. Can we do midfielders then?
Let's. So you're picking. So I'm picking Kane. I have Kane and Jesus.
I'm going to go with Haaland or Nunez. They're the 2 best teams. They're going to score 100 goals on those teams.
Sure.
These guys are going to have chances. Like they're going to have opportunities to score 25 to 30 goals. Whether they do that is up to them. That's my thing.
So sorry, can you repeat that?
I was going to say Haaland or Nunez. You're going with Kane or Jesus.
Oh, no, I'm picking. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 strikers up top. For my fantasy. Yeah.
I'm going 4-5-1.
I can appreciate that.
Just because defenders and midfielders, when they have points, it's worth way more.
Yeah, true. But I just think if they score a ton of goals, it won't matter.
It won't matter. But I was just figuring we would just pick the best player out of the forwards, midfielders.
Oh, yeah.
So
All right.
I'm gonna go with Haaland, and my second would be Nunez. I'm just gonna go for the new guys coming in the league.
Cool. I'm going Kane.
Midfielders, the most picked is Mo Salah at 60%. Son is at 25%. Andreas with Fulham is 25%. But once again, I think that's because he's so cheap and people aren't playing. He's 4.5 million. Then Luis Diaz is at 22%. That makes sense. Saka 21%. Martinelli 19%. Neto is at 18.9%. Coutinho is 18%. De Bruyne's only at 15%. Who for you is your midfielder?
The lock.
Salah. Okay, next. There's not even a point.
But
he honestly destroyed. If you didn't have Salah last year, I don't think you had a chance. So let's do defenders. Alexander-Arnold's at 58%. Cancelo 45%. Reece James at 39%. Perisic is at 29%. Who do you got?
Alexander-Arnold. Yeah.
Me too.
Tons of assists. Can't score goals.
Tons of assists. Can't score goals. Goalkeeper Mendy is the most chosen, and I have him. Yay. Allison's at 19%. Ederson's at 16%. Ward's at 13.8%. But once again, Ward is only at 13.8 because he's $4 million, and that's why people are choosing him. Right. So who's your goalie?
Same, Mendy.
Same. So I want to stay on goalies for a second because I thought it was there were two bits of news this week which made me feel very uncomfortable in my loins. One of them was that Kasper Schmeichel is going to Ligue 1. Apparently, a guy wants to learn French.
He's been with Leicester for 13 seasons now. Well, not anymore, but he was there for 13 seasons. He was there a long time.
I guess that's true. He was there with them when they were in the championship.
Yeah, and then promotion. He won the league. He won an FA Cup. He's done some things there. So I don't think easier league. He doesn't have to compete that hard.
I mean, I guess I forget that. And then the other piece of news that weirded me out, and you, Diego, and I already spoke about it on the group chat, but this really made me feel uncomfortable, was that Rui Puig, whatever, 22-year-old kid from Barcelona, is playing for LA Galaxy, excuse me. Oh, God, don't mix those two up. But he transferred to LA Galaxy. That just is so weird to me. I can't really handle it.
He's what, 22 or 19?
He's 22.
He's 22.
He's under the age of 25. Most times, players don't come over from Europe unless they're 25. And there was a guy, and I'm blanking on his name, but he came over from Juventus. He was an Italian guy. He played for Toronto. I don't even know if he won the title with them in the MLS.
Honestly, Barcelona is such a dumpster fire. It wouldn't be surprised if they backdoor paid him a certain amount of money
to leave
to get him off the books so they could register all their players. They won't register all their players if they get rid of him, but register a player or two, because Lewandowski, who else did they sign? Koundé, Christensen, is that right?
Yep.
I don't think they're registered yet.
I don't think they are either, and I don't know what they're going to do.
And De Jong's on they could probably register all they could register all of them, I think, if they get rid of De Jong, who's on $560K a week with euros, which is out of control. That was another thing you shared with me. That their top, the average of their top 5 highest paid guys is around $450,000 a week. The average. That's insane. That's higher than any salary in the Premier League.
I guess that's because the euro is such shit now, right?
That's true.
Shout out the European Bank. Sorry. It was Sebastian Giovinco. I had to look it up. That's why I've been so quiet. Sebastian Giovinco came over, and I believe he came over from Juve. But when he came over, he was 27 or 28. He still had years in his legs, and it was a really surprising move. But that's the last time I've been surprised by a guy coming over. Because normally it's Chiellini, who's going to LAFC to hang out with Bale and, I don't know, sit on Venice Beach and smoke pot with Snoop. I don't know why he's there. I guess when he's well, Italy's never going to be in a World Cup again. So, but yeah, sorry, going back to Barcelona, the stats that we shared, I think, and you were talking about the average being 450. There's normally one or two players, maybe one player on a Premier League team that's on those wages.
Yeah, Salah.
Maybe.
Salah.
Yeah, and they've had to fight for it. Salah had to probably in the back room kind of really advocate for that, even though he's Mo Salah and he won a title, won the Premier League with them, won the Champions League with them, and just taken them to. They lost the Champions League final, but he's taken them to another Champions League final in 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's insane that Barcelona was just handing these guys contracts that obviously they were going to be like, yeah, great, $500K a week, hell yeah, I'm taking that. And then obviously you see what's happening now is that like they owe him like $15 million in wages. They asked him to take a pay cut. They're like, you know, you want to be part of if you want to be part of this team, you got to like take what, you know.
Who are you talking about?
Barcelona.
But who
Dijon.
specifically? Dijon. Oh, that whole thing is crazy. And you put it in the chat like, oh, who would possibly pay his wages? And I was like, oh, Chelsea. Chelsea loves overpaying. But I do think Dijon is one of the nicer, young, holding kind of like stewards of the midfield in the world. I just think he's such class.
Yeah, he's very good, and like any Premier League team would want to sign him. But from a business perspective, it doesn't make any sense to sign him, right? Unless you pay him half or something. Like you're paying only a portion of his wages.
You're getting paid in IOUs.
Yeah, like I don't know, if you only have to pay $280K a week as opposed to $560K a week if you're Chelsea and you get Dijon, I don't know.
I mean, he'd be great. Our midfield, we have Jorginho, Kovacic, Conte. He'd be great in there. Now we got pretty boy Conor Gallagher, who I don't know. I don't know why he's like whatever. I think Ross Barkley's still hanging around cleaning boots. It's a whole weird vibe at Chelsea these days. Sterling's our
the best part is
Sterling's our Ballon d'Or candidate.
Jorginho is like the preferred center midfielder for that team.
It depends who we're playing because last year we would play Conte and Kovacic. We played them every time we played Liverpool. We played Conte and Kovacic, and those guys just ran like Jordan Henderson and Thiago into the ground. Like if Thiago has time, he can be a problem. When Conte and Kovacic are nipping at his ankles, he's not that big of a deal.
I actually think Tuchel likes Jorginho more than Conte, but that's just my opinion.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because he plays him more.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure it's true. I mean, I follow some Chelsea Twitter accounts, and they're not pleased with some of the squad selection from Tuchel.
It's so interesting how every single Premier League team, if you look at their Twitter, maybe except for Man City, if you look at their Twitter, maybe Man City, I don't know.
Man City's butterflies and rainbows, dude.
Butterflies, rainbows, and unicorns. But everyone else's, it doesn't matter how well they do. There's this like dark undercurrent of like negative witchcraft energy at all times.
It's really dark.
I don't like it at all.
It get dark. You can take a guy, and also like there are guys or people. It could be guy or girl, or even anybody. It could be they.
Could be gender fluid.
Who are could be very positive. Like for instance, Spurs 10 out of 10 window. They're doing great transfer season. They don't sign one player, or like somebody gets injured, and now they're like they're not as deep as they were at a position, and like it goes dark, and then like everybody starts getting on that like kind of mentality of like it's not as good, and it's if you really look at the window, it's been shit, and it goes like it goes from like 10 out of 10 window to like 4 out of 10 window within like a 4-hour period on Twitter.
I hate it.
It's actually insane.
I'm just not here for it.
It's Twitter, dude. Twitter's toxic. It's a toxic environment. It can be toxic.
Twitter is well, it can be toxic. I also just think that it's much easier to hate on something than it is to build something up. And like with Chelsea, I'm always positive. Mainly, there was a dark period before Lampard got sacked where I was pretty just like meh. But like, I'm not gonna go talk shit about Chelsea
except Lukaku because he's a lug.
Oh, but Lukaku isn't Chelsea. He never has been. He's a lug. He came over here and always wanted to go back to Italy. Bye. Land of pasta and sun. See you, bro.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
That was the weirdest saga.
I don't know why Amazon don't have, it's like all or nothing. It's just called nothing. And it's just about Lukaku when he came to England. And he puts his bags down. It's like the Belgian's here, sits on the bench, does nothing. He gets paid $25 million for every goal he scores. If you look at the goals he scored too, they were all against like bottom 15 teams.
And they were trash goals. They were trash.
Dude, it still blows my mind that the Chelsea back office bought him. I'm like, what do you guys not see? He's going to be trash. I don't know why I didn't find some I don't know why I didn't fly to London when he was there. Find some Chelsea diehard fan millionaire and bet him a lot of money that Lukaku was going to be dog shit. I knew it in my bones.
We both knew in our bones.
It was insane.
We watched him play. You just watch him move, and he's just not cut out. Like Darwin Nunez and Haaland are like agile, like athletic humans who like have a penchant for like scoring goals. Lukaku's just a lug. He's just he can barely move.
Oh yeah, it's painful. The weird thing about Lukaku is, and I saw this stat, and I have it. I wish I had it handy. Is like he's one of the most expensive when you look at overall transfers in the history of club football. If you add them up, when he came to United, they overpaid for him, even though he actually did decently well there for a season. When he went to Everton, they paid a lot relative to where he was. When he went over to Inter, they had to shell out some cash. It's just like when we bought him 120. I think teams have paid over like 400 in overall transfer fees on him. And like legitimately, Jamie Vardy was bought for £1 million. £1 million.
I'm telling you, Vardy could be a sleeper pick this year.
Vardy's only picked like 4-point-something%. He could totally be a sleeper pick.
Because Vardy had a shit season last year because he was injured.
And he is honestly like
he's the funniest Premier League player.
When I think of
history.
the kings of shithousery as far as like a top 3 in a 4-3-3, my all-time would be, it's tough. My all-time would be Vardy. See, for Charleston. No, still. Vardy, Diego Costa, and Luis Suarez. That is shithousery on another level. Diego Costa is actually like criminally insane. Vardy, he's like Marshawn Lynch. He just like has Skittles and vibes for the games. And then Luis Suarez has bit 3 different people on 3 different teams.
He's gonna bite somebody else this season because he's playing in.
Yeah, he's back in Uruguay playing for Nacional, where there's no
rules. There's no rules down there.
If you ever go to Argentina or Uruguay or Chile, do not play there. You will get the shit kicked out of you. There's no rules. And then they're the nicest people.
Well, should we actually talk about Premier League this week?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the week coming up? Yeah, let's just go through it quick. Is Arsenal going to win their Friday game? Now let's start there. Arsenal seems to always kick off the seasons. Last year they lost to the team that came up that starts with the B, Brentford. They lost to Brentford 2-0 on the Friday. Remember, we celebrated like we won the World Cup.
Well, it was a good day.
It's a great day. It was a nice sunny day.
I think it's because their Arsenal are first in the alphabetically, so they just play first, right? Is that how it works?
Maybe. So they play Crystal Palace
at Derby. It's probably Arsenal fans probably think it's some kind of conspiracy where like now they'll only have like so many days rest, so it'll hurt them for the next game. So
the entire season, because they started first, it like the lunar alignment is wrong.
It's
right?
all off.
Like the house is in a different rising.
Now they're on like a different like their chakras aren't aligned.
Their chakras are definitely messed up. Right. Their third eye is all messed up, and the entire season they'll use that. You know that John Scheimer has a Ouija board, and he's moving it around, and he's asking, "Will they beat Crystal Palace?" And it lands on the maybe, and he just can't sleep. He's not sleeping till Friday.
I can't with this team.
Here's the thing about Arsenal that I hate. They actually look really nice.
They're actually good
with Zinchenko.
Yeah.
And I honestly think Jesus is going to bag like 20 goals. And I don't know the last time Arsenal had a forward with 20 goals. It was probably maybe Van Persie. I don't think Aubameyang ever had a 20-goal season. But I think it was probably
20.
back to Van Persie, which was like 2013, 2014, 2015. They beat... 2010, 2011.
And they were making Champions League back then.
Yeah, 2010, 2011. They beat Chelsea once 4-2, and Van Persie just ran all over us. It was probably back then. But anyways, I think Jesus is going to do well. So with this Crystal Palace game, it is at Selhurst. I mean, I would love for Arsenal on the road, back-to-back years, because they lost to Brentford last year on the road, the Bees. I don't see how Crystal Palace win this, but it's football. Like, anything could happen. But I'm going to go with Arsenal.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arsenal.
I'm not doing any scores. I'm just going to Arsenal.
I'll just win. They'll win.
On Saturday, we got
a lot of games.
Fulham, Liverpool at 7:30. Who do you got there? I mean, I think Liverpool's going to just walk all over them. Like, I think Mitrovic is going to score a hat-trick because apparently he's God. But I think Liverpool's going to score 70 goals. And Darwin Núñez is going to score 20 in the first game. And your entire theory that he sucks is going to be out the window.
I hope so.
And you may actually quit the pod after that.
I think they'll win.
It'll be 70-3.
I'm going to say 5-2 on that game.
Okay, now.
I'm going to give a score. But that's the only one I'm going to
Well, my score was 70-3, so we'll see.
I'm rescinding mine, 70-3.
Mitrovic hat trick. That's it. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to score 11 penalties. One of them, he will score by running from half and diving and hitting it with his head, which isn't illegal, by the way. You could totally do this. No one's done it, but you could do this.
Well, it would help my fantasy at least.
Exactly. All the Darwin Núñez people. The fantasy Oz somehow has all the Liverpool. He has more than 3 Liverpool players because he's Oz. Bournemouth, Aston Villa. I guess Aston Villa, Bournemouth.
Oh, Aston Villa made some good signings. They got Coutinho. They got I don't know.
But they had Coutinho.
No, but who else did they get? They got a center back. I don't know. I think they're going to be decent. They don't have any European competition. I'm looking at 6th place for them this season. That's an off the cuff prediction.
Actually, that's what we're supposed to do. Is do our predictions for top 4 and all that. We'll do that next week.
We'll give it a week. We'll judge it based on 1 week.
Maybe we'll do our top 4 predictions in week 37, just to see if we're right. Leeds, Wolves.
Nobody wants to hear our predictions. Everybody knows who's going to finish.
Actually, there's no point. City's won the league.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Like
Liverpool's second.
The 3 teams that are going up are probably going back down.
I actually think it's going to end the top 4 like it did this past year.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs.
Yeah, and maybe Spurs and Chelsea will flip, but like barely. Maybe on like
United and Arsenal will still be battling it out for the 5th.
Yeah,
the 6th. Okay, well that's
whatever.
done.
That's it. Good job.
Good job, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. Leeds, Wolves. This is at Ellen Road. I'm gonna go with Wolves.
Oh, I want to pick Leeds.
Actually, no. I'm gonna pick Leeds unless Chelsea's playing because they are now America's team.
Yeah, and Leeds actually like signed players and made improvements. I don't think Wolves made that many improvements. I think Neto's good, but
I'm super excited to see Tyler Adams play more on a regular basis.
Jimenez actually might come back and be good again after another year off with his head recovering.
Okay, Jimenez isn't going to be good. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest.
I don't think that's like so harsh. Jeez, harsh on Jimenez. He'll never play football ever again.
Yeah, and the thing is,
he'll never be ever in the Premier League.
Well, there's a conspiracy in my head that's his twin brother who came back and he just wears a head wrap. It's kind of like what's that movie with Christian Bale?
Holy shit, that's a good conspiracy.
Yeah,
you gotta put that on Twitter.
Yeah, but what's the Christian Bale movie? The Prestige.
Oh yeah.
This is the Prestige a lo Mexicano. He's just out there. He's like, Javier, I need you to come play. He's like, hey, I'm just saying.
Dude.
I'm just saying.
It's a good theory. I love it.
Fun fact, Diego Costa has an identical twin brother. It is one of the weirder things when if you like search, if you're listening to this and you find us at all entertaining, open up your smartphone and Google Diego Costa twin brother. It is uncanny and unsettling, but you will laugh. So do yourself a solid.
I think I've seen that one before.
I'll do it while we're doing this. Newcastle, Nottingham. What do you think?
Oh, Newcastle. I think Newcastle are good. I think Guimaraes, their midfielder, he's one of my sleeper picks for fantasy. So I think.
Did you pick him up?
Yeah, I picked him up. I think Trippier he's back from injury. I think he'll be solid this season if he doesn't like get a red card or whatever. Or he doesn't get injured. He loves injury, but he's really good at free kicks. So I hate it. I hate. I'm looking at it.
It's not even Diego Costa. It's this other dude that I don't even know if I put this on the internet. It's not appropriate. I'll put this in our store. No, I'll put this on our post. It's uncanny.
Yeah, it's uncanny.
I'm gonna make a meme out of this. This is unbelievable. If you're listening to the pod, go to our Instagram and you might find a chuckle. I also think Newcastle's gonna be good, and I think Nottingham's gonna have a tough.
I think actually Newcastle will battle for that Europa Conference League spot. 7th.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, we might have to do the full league. We should. We should.
It's not the top 4 and the bottom 3. It's those like bubble teams for like Europe.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, I mean, I think, dude, like Aston Villa, Newcastle, Leicester maybe up there. Like those teams are all like going to be battling for the 7th place.
Tottenham, Southampton.
Tottenham.
You guys are at home. You guys are going to win this. The next game is Everton-Chelsea. And last time we went to fucking Goodison Park, we
God.
somehow lost 1-0.
At the end of the season when
in
they
a
were
game
in a
where
relegation
Jordan
battle.
Pickford literally embodied, like, Muhammad and, like, was just the most impressive thing ever. I hope we bury them. I really hope we bury them. They don't have Richarlison. Like, DCL, I guess he's going to have to walk on water because I just hope we bury them. So I hope
Against
Chelsea
Elie.
win. Okay, good God. Next game, Leicester-Brentford. This is at the King Power.
Oh, I'm gonna go Leicester, but Brentford will make it interesting. I mean, it'll be close.
I agree. It'll be close. Manchester United-Brighton.
Oh God, I don't know what Ten Hag's even doing. Are they good now? Are they not good? Is he like a good coach? I don't know anything about Ten Hag. I guess he was at Ajax for a while, so I guess they're good.
In one of his pre-games, he took Ronaldo off at half, and they were like arguing.
Yeah, and Ronaldo went home.
Yeah, and then Ronaldo left the stadium at halftime. Like right after that, he's like, "I'm out."
Locker room seems real positive. Seems like a lot of good things going on over there.
Yeah, there's like a lot of positivity.
They're gonna get rid of Tellez. I heard Tellez is going on loan.
Really?
Yep. So, but Martial's back. Rashford, will he play? Fernandez?
I'm going to put this out here. I think United are going to finish outside of Europe, and I think they're going to have a very rough season. Because I look at this team, and they have made no improvements. No improvements.
Are we assuming that Ronaldo's on the team still?
It doesn't even matter if Ronaldo's on the team. Their defense is so shitty, and
It's
De Gea
really
has
bad.
been so questionable for about 3 to 4 years now. Like,
And they got rid of Dean Henderson.
they did pick up Eriksen, which I thought was a great pickup.
Oh yeah, that's good. They'll
Because
stabilize the midfield a little bit. Yeah.
But not defensively.
Not defensively, but it'll give them an option moving forward. I mean, he'll work well with Fernandez.
I mean, if you look at the forwards, Jadon Sancho, I don't think we've seen where he can go.
I don't even know.
Alanga,
who that
I
is.
actually really like. Rashford, I haven't seen him play well since the Euro, since that season. Diallo, me. Martial, they literally sent him on loan. They do not care about him. And Ronaldo doesn't want to be there. And this is the first time in... If they don't let Ronaldo go, I will dare to say it's the first time in his entire career he will have to play a season at a club he doesn't want to be at. All the time he was with United, he wanted to be there. Then he was able to leave on his own accord, go to Real Madrid, played a bunch of years, scored 450 goals. Then he left on his own, played 2 years or 2.5 or 3 years at Juventus. Then he's like, hey, I don't want to be in here anymore. And they're like, fine. They sold him to United. He's at United for last season, and now he wants to leave. If they do not let him leave, I don't know what happens because I've never seen him. And it's a World Cup year, and it's his last World Cup. So it's a very, sticky thing.
Yeah, I could see him totally just kind of hanging around United, playing every once in a while, not really, and then just training on his own to play for Portugal. The understanding is that his focus is Portugal. His focus is the World Cup. Just get himself to the World Cup in some kind of form,
and then drop off.
Then drop off after.
I think he will go back to Sporting Lisbon, where I believe he started. He didn't play for Benfica. He didn't play.
It was Lisbon, yeah.
It's Sporting Lisbon. I think he'll be back there next season. A la Luis Suarez. A la I do believe that Messi eventually will go back to Argentina after his MLS stint, which I think is on the way. So I'm really worried for United. I'd like to see them competitive because I don't want to beat them and be like, oh, it's just United. I want to see them competitive, and I still want us to beat them. But I really worry. They have not made the wholesale changes they need to make.
I'm just going to say one thing.
Okay, just one thing.
Slabby Maguire
Oh, my God.
is still captain of Manchester United.
The fact that Ten Hag didn't come in and, take the team to Denmark on a road trip and then leave Harry Maguire at a gas station with no cell phone is a freaking mind blow. That guy, honestly, conspiracy theory, I think he's just pulling one over it. He's pulled the wool over our eyes for years. He's not good.
$80 million they paid for him.
$80 million.
And the thing I question, so what happened to Luke Shaw? What happened to that guy?
Luke Shaw.
He was good.
Luke Shaw, in the year of the Euro, was one of the best outside backs in the world. He was so good that in the year of the Euro, Chelsea had just won the Champions League, and he kept Reece James and Chilwell. They never touched the field
That's right.
because that's how good Luke Shaw is. And Luke Shaw always had this like dad bod, and now he's actually just playing like he has a dad bod.
It's unbelievable what happened to him.
He's honestly, it actually is. But that just speaks to United. It's not a place where you go and you're going to grow. Like, it's not like a fertile flower bed. You're going to go there and wilt.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
Like, it's real bad.
It's
like,
where careers go to die.
Yeah, it is now. It used to be where you would go and, like, excel.
I mean, Bruno Fernandes had that season 2 seasons ago where he scored a shitload of goals, and it was mostly penalties, but still, like, very productive and, like, controlled that midfield. Where was he last season? He was shit last season. He was shit. He was an absolute ghost of himself.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why I think they're going to have such a rough season. Other than Eriksen, I don't know what other changes they've made.
I just don't know, like, what that team's trying to do. Like, I don't know understand anything, what they're doing.
Like I said, I think that they're going to finish out of Europe, and I'm going to say it now in this pod. I think United may finish 10 and higher.
The key to strong Premier League teams and strong Champions League teams is center backs. What has every team strengthened? Center backs, or they've fallen back to. They've Virgil van Dijk, Cancelo, and Diaz. Well, Cancelo's not really center back, but Diaz. You got Koulibaly. You got Silva that came in and won them a Champions League at Chelsea. And now Spurs have Romero, and they have Dyer playing phenomenally. Dyer deserves.
You've been saying this for way longer than anyone else ever on the planet. If Dyer doesn't start in their World Cup team, they are in trouble.
They're absolute trouble. If he doesn't get a call up in the next whatever friendlies they do in the fall, that means Southgate has a definite. There's something he's got something against Dyer, like personally, because to have Harry Maguire start, if it's a Harry Maguire John Stones pairing in the back, they will not win the World Cup. Those two, they're not going to work.
This is why, since England fell apart in the penalty shootout to Italy, right? Italy, that team is done. All those players have gone to the MLS. They didn't make the World Cup. Italy is so screwed for their national team moving forward. I don't even know when it comes to like European supremacy or world supremacy. That England's team, I'm not intimidated by it, which is why I keep saying I think the U.S. is going to beat them. You look at what you heard of Aronson, Weston McKennie, Reyna, and Pulisic all running at you. They will roast Harry Maguire and John Stones.
He's going to fall. They're going to literally fall over.
I was gonna put $100 on that. I might even put $101 on that.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're trying to do. Like, what I'm trying to say is that center backs are kind of the foundation, and
yes,
that's of a solid team. If you do not have good center back play, you will lose pretty much. You will lose the important games. You'll beat the crap teams. You'll beat the Bournemouths and the Fulhams and Norwiches, but you're not gonna beat Liverpool without good center backs.
Oh,
you're
no,
not.
They're gonna get destroyed. Liverpool last year beat United over 2 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 9-0.
Right.
Over 2 games. I believe they may break that. I think they may get 10. Who is going to stop Darwin Nunez, Salah, and Luis Diaz? Luke, Dad Bod Shaw, Eric Bailly, I had the ball
Phil
Jones
still in that
Ralph
team.
Alvarón, the ghost of Real Madrid. Dalot, no. Tellez is gone. Juan Obi-Wan Bissaka, please. Brandon Williams, the dude just got his driver's license. This team is they're in so much trouble.
Harry fucking Maguire, dude.
I'm tweeting this after. They're gonna finish 10th or higher. I'm gonna put it. In fact, if I can find a line, I'll bet $50 to finish 10th.
Well, fun fact for all our Massachusetts listeners: sports betting just became legal in Massachusetts, online and at the casinos. So, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to make our bets, parlays.
Yeah, and Jenna will have you sleeping in the garage by December.
Yeah, because all our money will be gone, baby.
No diapers for the boys. I put it all on Spurs. They lost to Bournemouth. It was a sure thing, I promise.
All right, next game.
The last.
Did we ever say who would win that United game, by the way? Who are they playing?
They're playing Brighton.
I think Brighton will win that game.
It's at Old Trafford. If Brighton win the first game of the season at Old Trafford and Ronaldo doesn't want to be there and he doesn't score.
Is he going to play, though?
Yeah, he's got to play. Who is going to play Martial over Ronaldo?
I don't know. Is Ronaldo even going to show up? He's just going to ghost Ten Hag.
No, Ronaldo's a competitor. He's going to show up. But it's going to be rough. Watch the body chemistry when Ronaldo gets subbed off, no matter when that happens. He won't play 90. I don't think he'll play 90.
He'll play like 60.
Yeah. I'm going to go with a tie. I think it's going to be super underwhelming.
Okay, 1-1 or something? Yeah, it's fine.
Like 7-7.
All right.
The final game is West Ham versus Man City, and it's at the London Stadium. I think City win this, unfortunately. I know that West Ham have had they had a pretty good season last year. David Moyes is the Scottish wizard because he's
no. I actually disagree with you. They looked, against Liverpool. Liverpool's rocked them in the Community Shield.
Oh, are you talking about City?
Yeah, City got rocked by Liverpool in the Community Shield. I think it's gonna be close. I think at home West Ham are a pretty good team. They got the bubbles flying around. They got Antonio doing a little up there. They got Jarrett Bowen running real hard in the middle.
If you look in the last 6 years, first of all, can you do the Jarrett Bowen running again?
Jarrett Bowen's doing his little shuffle around the midfield. I picked him up in my fantasy. Don't forget.
JB. If you
I'm just saying it's going to be a tie. I don't think they're going to win.
So every time City loses.
Oh, the next
in
game.
the last 6 years.
Okay.
Pep takes them all, puts them in a dark room, and plays Celine Dion for like 15 hours. My heart will go on. And then they come out and they destroy teams. I think they're going to put punishment on the Hammers.
Or do you think do you think they just didn't take the Community Shield that seriously?
I don't think they care about the Community Shield. The only thing they care about is Champions League. That's the only thing Haaland cares about. That's the only thing Pep cares about. Haaland, I'm sure he wants to win the Premier League.
So I actually don't think that. I don't think that theory is good. I don't think they're going to care about the last game they played. So I think they should come out and they're going to play a regular game and they're going to tie.
If they play a regular game 10 out of 10 times against West Ham, they're probably going to win 8 of those.
All right, I'm just making a prediction. All right, don't get mad at me. I'm just making a prediction.
The prediction's interesting.
Well, we're not putting money on it yet, so make it a little more interesting.
I'm not putting money on it yet, a.k.a. I haven't gambled away all of my family's money down at Encore in Revere. Yeah,
I'm not
Jenna,
going
I gotta
down.
Go get some beer. I'll be back in 2 hours.
I'm not going down to Revere to save 5% on taxes if I win anything, because that's the difference. That's the only difference. That's the only reason you go down there.
It means you're not spending the big bucks.
No, I gotta do it online. I'm a man of the 21st century.
Oh, you're a man of the 21st century.
As opposed to the 22nd century?
Yeah, what the shit? The 23rd century. I think that's it for this episode, Jeffrey. Any last things you want to say about the world?
Any last words?
Any last words?
What a fucking guillotine, dude! Under a guillotine?
Yeah, the start of the Premier
League. Hangman's noose.
Jeff, the start of the Premier League is the guillotine.
It feels like every week I'm like it feels like every week I'm on the chopping block about my predictions. Like I'm making these bold claims, and then
you
they
said
come
Darwin
true.
Nunez is gonna flop, which I still think is a rough call.
Dude, honestly, sometimes I say things, and we should go listen back to the tape and then insert the audio because they're good calls. They're real good calls.
No, when you make a good call, I give it to you. I think the Darwin Nunez is a tough call.
It's a tough call, but he's looked very sloppy in preseason and in training. Very sloppy.
If
he's
he
a
turns
sloppy
out to
boy.
be the Lukaku,
he's a
that's
sloppy
what I'm saying.
boy.
I think you need to find a bet and just put whatever you believe on it because no one.
But okay,
I
this is
think
my
it's
problem.
Against the grain.
Okay, I said 12 goals. I didn't say he was going to be a flop. Like he's only going to score like 2 goals. I said 12 goals in the Premier League. I think he'll score more in all competitions.
Yeah, you said up to 20 in all competitions.
Second, Scheimer wanted to bet me. He wanted to make a $100 bet with me that he was going to score 14 goals. What kind of fucking bet is that? 14?
14 or more, yeah.
That's lame. That's not a bet. That's freaking razors. Like, what are you talking about? That's barely a difference.
Well, but he's saying if you're thinking he's going to score 12 or less, he's giving you 2 to play with, and he's just saying 14 or more.
But that's not that bold of a claim. I think he needs to come at me with like 16. This is going to be a bigger spread.
So you're saying if he takes 16, you'll take it for $100. Keep in mind, John Scheimer is broke. He's living on the street somewhere, right? And he only has the $100 that I Venmo'd him because of the fucking Arsenal bet. That's all he has to his name, Jeff. He's just trying to move up in the world.
I'm just
trying
saying
to take his 100 and get $200.
That 2-goal buffer isn't enough for me to bet $100. That's what I'm
So
saying.
if he says 16, you'll take the bet.
No, I'm using 16 as an example.
Okay,
I'm not
because-
betting John Scheimer anything because I don't want to live in the world of John Scheimer bets because that is
John Scheimer bets.
John Scheimer bets. It's like I can't live in that reality.
You
I
know
can't
that
live
if
in
you
that.
say that you'll take 16, he's going to listen to this and he'll drive up here and like scan your Venmo code and be like, "Thank you."
I'm not taking.
He's
any
just trying to
bets
move
with John
up
Scheimer.
in the world. He's
I'm
trying
not
to take his
trying to
100 and
then
make
make
200.
200.
He's
I
trying
get
to
it.
beat inflation.
I get it. I understand. I'm not.
He's
That's
a man
not
of
my game.
principle.
I'd rather use my gambling money elsewhere. I have an allotted amount Jenna gives me. I have to use it in other
How much is
places.
that amount?
I can't disclose that.
You can't disclose that.
No, I can't.
It's an
I can't.
obscene amount that makes everyone feel uncomfortable.
I can't. Nobody wants to know.
You guys are selling stuff on eBay just so you can gamble more.
I've been kidding money away because I knew that the state was going to pass sports betting. So,
So
now
you've been like Andy Dufresneing your wife.
I have a stash.
A
A stash of cash.
We're in a recession. It's wise to keep cash on hand. This is good.
Yes, it's like cash under the mattress, except it's cash.
In the mattress. Your mattress is actually full of cash.
It's actually on top of my mattress. We've
It's
been sleeping
very
on
firm.
cash.
You have the mattress, and then you have the top sheet, and then in between that is just cash.
It's just cash. It's like a Tempur-Pedic, but cash.
More like temper fiat.
Catch us next week. We might talk about football, but maybe we'll just talk about cash again.
We'll just talk about economics. We're in a recession. Everyone needs to get their shit together. Ciao.
Ciao. Thanks for listening to the Boys and Bolos podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Twitch at Boys and Bolos.
If you'd like to be a guest, please reach out. You can hit us on any of the social media accounts that Jeff just mentioned, or email us directly at boysandbolos@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, and see you next time.